Hey guys, I'm the Burke and I do things. And today's video, it's just the video that we're doing. I don't know what else to say. Basically, I'm filming this the Monday before our Halloween party. I definitely know I have to get some videos made this week, but some of the more in-depth kind of videos, I don't really have time to put the work into them because I spent this whole last weekend cleaning and decorating. So I thought, why not just play with some makeup I already have, can talk about it. I decided to go on the Ulta app and basically search their best seller in each category. And I picked the highest thing that I own. So not everything I owned the best seller. So I just kind of like went down until I picked what I had. So basically in front of me is my best sellers that I own. I figured let's play with some makeup. Let's talk about some makeup. Is it really that good? All that stuff. You get what I'm saying. My brain is a little bit everywhere this week, so don't mind my brain. Basically, let's go. So primer I definitely thought was an interesting option. It's definitely not something I ever use as a primer, but there's nothing wrong with that. Their best-selling primer is the MAC Prep and Prime, aka Fix Plus. Prime is literally in the name of this, and I never use it to prime, so we're gonna do it today. It's been a while since I used this, but I do love the way Fix Plus smells. So that should be a nice hydrating primer for sure. Also, fun fact, so every time I film, I always change my battery before. So I have two batteries I go back and forth between, so I always have like a charged battery. Basically, I just changed my battery before I filmed, and the little door that closes over the memory card and battery decided not to work anymore. So my camera is taped together with Scotch tape right now, so. Welcome to behind the scenes of YouTube. So for foundation, the best-selling foundation is the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation, which kind of surprises me because technically it's a tinted moisturizer. It's a very pigmented tinted moisturizer, but still I was surprised that this is their best seller. I do have this in two shades. I like this product. I don't love it. It's not something I would pay the full price for. I do have this in fair and medium. I think I'm gonna use fair today because I'm not self-tanned and the best-selling powder is a little bit not translucent, so I'd rather go in lighter on the foundation side. So I'm going to go in with some of this. It is very thick, like maybe one of the thickest products I own. Actually, I should pull my hair back because it's gonna get messy. Let's go full, pull it back. Scrunchie and all. I mean, the coverage on this is insane. I don't know how they call it just a tinted moisturizer. To me, it is a foundation. It is very, very scented. It does have an SPF scent, but it also has like some sort of a fresh scent to it. It's hard to explain. I don't know if I've ever just gone in with fair on its own, so hopefully we do wind up darkening this all up. But I mean, that's one coat. I did use 2 pumps, but I feel like it really covered the whole thing for sure. Now concealer, I had to scroll a bit to get to my top concealer. I do find that all their best sellers all happen to be more on the high end, which I don't know if that's real, if all of their best sellers are all more expensive makeup, but the first concealer I had in their best sellers is this one from Makeup Revolution, and this is the Conceal and Define Concealer. I really do like this concealer a lot. It is a little bit more on the drying side for me. So typically what I have been doing lately is when I do have a more dry, full coverage concealer, I just mix them together so I can get the coverage, but I use something a little bit more hydrating to make it less drying. But I do think, especially for the drugstore, or at least drugstore pricing, this is a really good concealer. And this one I'm using in the shade C1. Speaking of C1, today when I'm filming this, I did get an email from BoxyCharm where they let me like customize my skin tone. And one of the things I had to do was pick 2 foundation shades I wear and 2 concealer shades I wear. And it made me think of it because this was like one of the few concealers that I could think of what shade I own. So I thought that was pretty cool. We'll have to see how well that quiz sample test or whatever does. Now for the powder. So the best-selling setting powder that I have from Ulta is the Becca Hydra Mist. I feel like I talk about this often, so I don't want to go on too much about it, but I do have this mini that dried out, so it no longer has the hydra properties to it. So to me, it's just a very basic powder, and it's tinted. So when I put it under my eyes, it adds pigmentation. So I feel like you can see how much darker this side is compared to this side, which is one of the reasons I didn't mind I was using a lighter concealer and foundation, because I knew this was going to add color to it. And I'm just going to set my whole face with this. One of the things I definitely used to love doing was setting my whole face with this powder, because it was so light and refreshing, but it no longer has that effect. Okay, and I would call our base done now. Continuing on to the brows, we have two Benefit products here, which is not super surprising that Benefit would be their bestseller when it comes to brows. I would have assumed it would have been that or Anastasia, but the Precisely My Brow is the best-selling brow pencil, so I do have a little sample size of it right here. I do wear this in the shade 3.5. I really do like this pencil. I have multiple backups of it actually. Okay. This one is actually almost completely out of product. And then the best-selling brow gel they have is the Benefit Gimme Brow. I like this brow gel. I definitely prefer something clear, but when it comes to tinted brow gels, this one is definitely one of my tops as far as tints go. And the one I'm using right now is in the shade 3. The best-selling eyeliner. Now, when I typed in eyeliner, I wasn't sure if I was going to get a pencil eyeliner or a liquid eyeliner. I was a little nervous, but I did get a pencil liner. It's the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil. I really do like those a lot. I today will be using this one, which is the shade Perversion, which is their matte black shade. I definitely really like these pencils a lot. I think you can get a good deal on these usually. Last holiday season, they had I think it was a 4 or 5 pack of the minis. I think that's like one of the best deals I've gotten on these. But yes, I'm definitely a big fan of this, especially if you're looking for a matte black. Perversion's really good. Now eyeshadow. I was really wondering what palette I would have that was the best seller, especially because I don't really buy a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I like get a little weird and don't invest a lot of money in eyeshadow palettes. I think that's the thing I buy the least of, especially when it comes to high-end ones. But the best-selling eyeshadow palette I own, unsurprisingly I feel like, is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. This is a palette I use so scarcely, but I decided, you know what? The reason I never use this is because I get overwhelmed with all the color options, so I thought, what the heck? Why don't we just make it a palette bingo? I'll have 5 shades to work with and make some sort of a autumnal look today. I am wearing my pumpkin spice shirt, so I thought, let's just do it. Now, I'm pretty sure there are 35 shades in this palette, so I figured, what the heck, let's do it. Let's have some fun on a Monday. So whenever I do palette bingos, I just use the Google general number generator. So the first number is number 15, which is this metallic shade right here, which is called Obsessed. This is a very creamy shade. This is one of the shades I use a lot. Here is our first shade. It's just almost like a very light pinky rose gold kind of shade. The next shade is number 28. Okay, 28 is this shade over here, which is called Mocha, which is just a matte brown shade. So far, very doable look-wise. I won't lie, I'm a little nervous about the purples and blues coming in this one. The next shade is number 20. Okay, number 20 is this shade right here, which is called Buns, which is another matte brown, but this one's like a little bit more red toned. Ooh, this one is so soft. That one is extremely soft. So here are our shades. 2 more. Our next shade is number 25. This is this shade right here, which is called Meeks. This is a metallic shade, and this is like a gold. Actually, it's more like a copper bronze. Oh yeah, we love a good neutral eye here. All right, one last shade to play with today. Number 8. Okay, one of my most used shades right here, which is Creamsicle. I mean, I can definitely get down with this color scheme. I'm gonna start with Creamsicle. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild P20 brush, and that is where we're going to start. I feel like Creamsicle is one of the shades I tend to reach for the most when I use this palette, so this is definitely in my comfort zone here. You'll have to let me know what you guys think of this palette if you own it. I just get so overwhelmed by these large palettes. Maybe this is just how I need to use them in general. Just give me 5 colors and I'll do something. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this brush. This is the Luxie 121 brush. I'm going to go in with our reddish brown matte. I'm going to start working that on the outer corner and into the crease a little. I'm just, in general, really bad at making decisions, so sometimes a nice palette bingo is nice that it makes the decisions for you. Okay, and I'm going to blend a little bit more with Creamsicle. Now I'm going to take the bronzy shade. I'm just going to use my finger. Tap that right in the center of the eye. Ooh, that is so pretty. I really like that. Ooh. Big fan, big fan. Now I'm going to take a flat brush. So this is actually a flat brush that came in an Amazon brush set, and I'm going to use our dark matte brown. I'm going to go under the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take our same little gold brush here from Luxie and just buff it all together. Okay, we do have one shade left, which is more of the rosy gold, and I'm just going to go right in the inner corner here. That, oh, that is so beautiful. Okay. I'm very happy with the way this look turned out, and I would have never done this combination of colors if we hadn't done this little palette bingo, so. As far as Ulta bestsellers go, I can understand this one for sure. I just know that it overwhelms me a lot of the time. Okay, on to the rest of the face. Let's start with bronzer. At first, I wasn't sure what bronzer was gonna be #1, and then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? This makes sense. In your mind, if you're thinking Hoola bronzer, you're super right. So I only have the mini, and even the mini, these mini boxes have so much product in them. Actually, I didn't buy the cookie highlighter because I'm waiting for it to come out in the mini, for real. So I'm gonna use this Ulta Beauty brand brush. It's called their blush brush, but I actually really like using it for bronzer. So I like this bronzer for sure. I don't know why I never reach for it. It's just, I just feel like when I'm bronzing, I never think to reach for this one. But I really don't have an issue with it. It never crosses my mind to get it out of my drawer. It definitely does the job. Always over bronzing the nose. That's like what I do, and then I take my regular powder brush and diffuse it a little. And there we have it. We are bronzed and maybe too bronzed. Good thing I'm not going anywhere. The best selling blush doesn't super surprise me. So it's the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes, and this is the shade Party. I actually got this as a free sample from Sephora, and I'm a big fan of it. I always say the best thing Tarte does is face products, especially their blushes. I have so many blushes from them. This just happened to be the one I decided to use in this video. I'm going to use this Real Techniques 302 brush, and it's just like, it's such a nice shade. There we go. So now we talk highlighter, and this is where it gets weird. The best-selling highlighter was a face palette, which is interesting that when I type in highlighter, face palette comes up as the bestseller. So it's this one from the Too Faced brand. This is their natural face palette, and honestly, of all the products in here, I like the highlighters the least. We have 2 shades. So this shade is called Satin Sheets, which is like very goldy. And then this one is called Starlight, which is like a duochrome. And both of them look weird on me. So when I think of highlighters that are not good on my skin tone, these come into mind. I think I'm just gonna go in with Satin Sheets and go in very lightly with this Morphe brush. It doesn't actually have a name on it. It's just like a little fluffy Morphe brush. We're gonna go in light because, oh, it's just a golden stripe. Gonna really have to blend that out. I might have to mix the other one in. I just don't like the way this looks on me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in a little bit with Starlight just to add a little bit of pink. But yeah, I was very surprised to see that this base palette came up as the #1 highlighter because it's my least favorite product in the whole palette. A little on the nose, not too much. I just am glad that the eyes turned out good, because that would be saving the day for me. Oof. Also though, this palette smells amazing. I will give them that. And I do like the bronzers and the blushes. It's just those highlighters I'm not crazy about. So, best-selling setting spray. Again, Fix Plus, a popular product, so let's do it. It's been a while since I used my Fix Plus. Honestly, I feel like because of the price of it, I try to reach for my more affordable ones more often because I like cherish it, you know? But I'm a big fan. This is not my first bottle of this. I like it a lot. I also have backups, so I should just use it, I know. Now, mascara. The best-selling mascara I have is, and I'm not ashamed to say, the Benefit Roller Lash. This has been my favorite mascara for, I guess, since the first time I ever tried it. I'm such a big fan of this. I've definitely found other good mascaras in my time in life, but I will always have a special place in my heart for Benefit Roller Lash. It also means that of all these products, 4 of them have been Benefit. So there we go, my favorite mascara. Then, I didn't really know how to look for lip products, so I literally just typed the word lip and sorted by bestseller. And the bestseller, as far as lip goes, is the Dose of Colors Liquid Lipstick, which I'm good with. I have the shade Lazy Daisy, and I love this formula. Definitely down with this formula. I was very excited to see this product was the bestseller because, you know what? Dose of Colors isn't one of those really big brands. Like, I feel like all of these products have come from very big name brands, but I feel like Dose is not necessarily a big brand. It's a little bit of a smaller brand, so I was glad to see that it was the #1. So now we can take the hair down because we have our full face of Ulta's best-selling makeup. Let me know if you guys liked this format. Would you like to see it with a different store? I also kind of had considered doing it with Ulta's top rated makeup, which is a completely different world than their best-selling makeup. I don't know. Let me know if you like this style of video. I like trying to find ways to incorporate makeup I have in my collection, so definitely let me know if you have any recommendations in the comments. And yeah, that is it for this video. As usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!